Hey there, this is Andrew with ADS, here to bring you the very best in marketing and branding tips, as well as business tips for those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and personal branders. Welcome. So good to have you here as always. And today, as promised, I am here to chat with you about Whova. Now, Whova is a conference app. We used it for a mini conference recently, and I promised you I would give you all the goodies and details about what's up with Whova, what's the good, the bad, the ugly, how much was it, all that good stuff. And we're going to share that right now in this episode. Let's go. All right, so let's talk about what Whova is, how it kind of works, what it looks like, all that good stuff. I'm going to be showing that to you on your screen as well as we're chatting, so be sure to look out for all of that. But Whova basically is a mini conference or conference app, and the pricing for it is based all upon the size of your event. So if you have a conference that is as like a mini conference, like what we were doing, that's 500 people or less, this is actually a really good platform for you. And then even once you get bigger than that, if you're in the thousands and plus 20,000 even, this is the kind of platform that can handle that kind of volume virtually. And so, with our 500 or less platform, the pricing on that was $14.99 base price, like basically $1,500 base. And with that, you can get some really cool functionality. So I'll show you what that looks like and what we got. But basically, you get the platform itself. It can be branded at the top. So you can have your event branding, and that's a good place to put sponsors and all that, because they will charge you. This is a nickel and dime kind of a service. So every little extra thing you want, surveys, sponsor ads that are rotating, kind of banner ads, that kind of thing, are all extra. They're all a couple $100 extra. So if you're on a tight budget, I'm telling you, base price what you can get for a conference that is under 500 people. Okay, so this is like a mini conference virtual event, but that's, pretty sizable. I don't know if you want to get bigger than that on a virtual level for a lot of people, for what a lot of small businesses and organizations are doing. So if you want to get bigger than that, talk to me about pricing. I might have pricing on that, but I'm specifically talking for your mini conference kinds of events. So $1,500 basically is the base price. And, like I said, you can get your banner at the top. It's a pretty sizable banner, and that's really good for branding purposes. And to get around the sponsor ad thing, because you get to have a customized art piece right off the bat, just include your sponsors, and I'll show you where you can see that on ours. At the bottom, just incorporate it into your artwork, the banner that you do get, and that can kind of help alleviate part of that problem of not spending an extra $300 or whatever it is for sponsor ads rotating. So you get that, the nice big banner. You also get a community section, which is very highly usable. That was one of the things people really loved about our event a lot, was that community section. So people can go in there, and once they're in, and it's very important to note, people have to use the email they registered with for your event. That's the only email that will work to get them into the Whova system. So it's very, very important. But once they're in there, they can use that event community kind of discussion board. And this is even better, I think, than what you get in our Facebook private groups, which is an alternative. If you were just doing Zoom and you wanted a place where people could offline chat, you could do it for free in like a Facebook group, right? Like a private Facebook group just for your event. But with Whova, you get this nice community board, and all I had to do is tell people one time about this. They were all over it. They were just using it organically all by themselves. It was so great to see that engagement going on the platform. So absolutely tell your people, use that community discussion board, okay? Because it's really fun. It's a great place. People can just get in there and talk about any kind of subject they want related to your event. So if you've got a team in there, you can tell them startup discussions, and people will just organically be using it and talking with each other. I think it's a great way for people to connect before, after, during the event. Another point is the duration of this app. So you use the Whova platform, You get it for 3 to 6 months. You get it for 6 months basically after your event. So your event content lives there where people can access whatever recordings you upload afterwards. They can privately access it on this platform. It's a really great solution to, you're always like, where do I keep these videos? Now, your recordings are important, and a good key thing to know about Whova, as this is a conference platform, is that if you have lots of recordings, lots of sessions, lots of workshops, you want to be careful about uploading those videos directly. You can do that, but there's a limit at this $1,500 level. And then once you get past that, you're going to have to pay extra for however much storage space you'll need. So they do recommend, and I'm going to recommend to you as well, do it as like an unlisted video on YouTube, so it's not searchable. Do it on like a new channel that you don't ever use for anything. And that way, it's not got traffic and it's not got a lot of people searching for anything related to your stuff. And do it as unlisted videos, and then take those YouTube links and put them in Whova as the recorded sessions. And then people can go and access those sessions whenever they want, but they can only access it if they have access to the platform, right? So that kind of helps, because when you don't have that kind of thing, you're kind of forced to use some other kind of video service like YouTube, or making it public. And that's not fair to your people who paid money to come to your event, only for your content to be available publicly for the world to see, for those who didn't pay for the event. So that's a really cool feature that helps you solve that problem of content, and people can access that content for up to 6 months after the event. You might say, like, why can't it be accessible for up to a year, up until the next event? Well, yes, but also I think it's good to put some time restraints on it. I kind of almost wish it was only available for a quarter or even a month, because that kind of pushes people to consume that content. Because otherwise, I can tell you right now, I went to a conference late February, early March, and we have access to all that content. I haven't cracked open a video since probably April. So, like after a while, it kind of loses its steam for people. So I think 6 months is fine. And I think that works great for the Whova app. So your videos can live there. Your recorded videos can live there. And I recommend doing that through YouTube. Put them up, unlisted videos on YouTube, and then put it up on your Whova app, and they can live there for 6 months. Make sure you communicate to your people that it can be there for 6 months, okay, so they know. There are some important notes about Whova and Zoom. Yes, Whova and Zoom do play well together. Good. There are some limitations as of, this is November 2020, our event was October 2020. As of October 2020, it did have some limitations for things like breakout rooms and all that. It's supposed to work, but it didn't quite work like how it was supposed to. So here's how it works with Whova. You have your Zoom link set up in Zoom. You take those, you copy them, you put them over into Whova for each session that you have going on in your virtual event. And when people go to those, it can open up that Zoom link directly in the Whova app, and people can view your Zoom thing in the app directly. That's good for some things. It does have some limitations. So if people view Zoom, that Zoom link in the Whova app, they will not see each other's faces. So like on a regular Zoom call, you can see each other's faces. You won't have that capability if you're using Zoom with Whova. Now you can get around that just by going directly to Zoom instead of going through the Whova app, which seems counterintuitive, like you have this wonderful app, why wouldn't you use it? But if you want people to be able to see each other's faces, then you have to tell them to use the Zoom link directly as opposed to the Whova in-app link, okay? If you want people to see faces, which is really good in a virtual event, then have them click on the direct Zoom link. And we got around this by doing an email, send it out like the day of, the morning of, the day before, all that good stuff as reminders. But give them the agenda with the Zoom links in it directly. And that way people can click on their Zoom links if Whova happens to mess up for them. And it will mess up for people. It just will. There's certain people it just will not work for all kinds of reasons. Their own operating system, their version of Zoom, God knows what. So just know it's helpful to have your agenda in an email, clickable with the direct Zoom links as a backup, okay? The other limitation with Zoom and Whova is that you have an issue, as again, as of October 2020, there's an issue with breakout rooms. So breakout rooms, I think, are an awesome way to be able to kind of get around some functionalities and do multiple events at once online. So we did 6 workshops at a time online for 3 hours in one day. You see my last video about that to see how that went down. But we did it, and it was possible because of breakout rooms. The problem with Whova and breakout rooms as of this moment is that if you are trying to, if you as an event participant is trying to access a breakout room through Whova, number one, they can't view the chat. Well, this is just outside of breakout rooms. Outside of breakout rooms, they can't view the chat that everybody else can see. If everyone else went to an outside Zoom link, they have a chat going on the external Zoom link, and then there's a whole nother chat going on the Whova app. And those two chats don't talk to each other. So only people who went through the Whova side are seeing each other talk, and only people who went through the Zoom link directly are seeing each other talk and can see faces. So there's our limitations. I mean, basically, if you want to use Zoom, it's pretty much good just for having the links there. But honestly, I think the value of the Whova app for mini conferences that are virtual is that you can have your videos live there for up to 6 months afterwards. You have the community discussion board. The other thing that's cool is the exhibitor hall. So you can have an exhibitor hall, which is kind of neat. And every exhibitor can have their own virtual table, virtual booth, just like you would at an in-person conference. And they can have one video playing. It loops itself, it plays directly. As soon as someone clicks on that booth, that video starts playing. It's immediate brand awareness. So they can have any video playing in there, and it's a simple link from YouTube or somewhere like that, and it plays automatically. And also it will gather leads for your exhibitors. So it's going to gather leads for them, which is really cool. It's going to give them stats on all that good stuff. Your exhibitor sponsor can also upload PDF documents. So if they have brochures and things like that they want people to have, then those brochures can be uploaded directly. You don't even have to touch it. They can do it all themselves, and people can access that. And finally, in that exhibitor area, people can live chat with someone who's manning the booth. That's one way that you can have conversation. Now, it's not dynamic like a video, it's just live chat, but they can have the ability to talk to each other. So if someone has a question, they're like, how does Fiserv, for example, who's one of our sponsors, how does Fiserv work for small business? What kind of programs do you have? Someone could ask that question and put it in the chat, and then a Fiserv representative can be responding back to them. Now, I'm pretty certain this is how this works because we tested this, and how it worked live was if there is not someone in the booth at the time when someone is chatting, that chat will still be there, and a representative can still come in and respond to that chat later, and it will give a notification to the parties about all that good stuff. So it's just interesting. I think it's a cool way to do a virtual booth that you don't have the capability to do with Zoom. Okay, so that's another plus on the platform, is the actual exhibitor hall area itself is pretty neat, and it actually works. So that is a bonus for your sponsors. You can also do all these upgrades, with sponsors, like get sponsor banners and all that good stuff. We didn't do that this time. We went with the bare basics just to see how the program and the platform would work for all this. You can upgrade for stuff like surveys as well. But for us, we went with SurveyMonkey as we usually use, and we just did it through MailChimp as we always typically do. And that worked fine. But you can do that directly And instantly you can have people do that and get instant feedback through Whova. So if you have a couple extra $100 that you can put towards that, I think that's worth it for immediate feedback purposes, because speakers often want to know, how did my speech go? How did my workshop go? To be able to give them that immediate feedback would be awesome. And plus, that feedback's always richer, immediately after a workshop, because a day or two later, you kind of forget some things. It's a little fuzzy. You're like, who was that speaker again? But if you can do it immediately afterwards, that's awesome. So Whova does have that capability to do surveys immediately. We talked about the community boards. We talked about the sponsor areas. We talked about exhibitor areas. We talked about how it works with Zoom. Good and bad at this moment. Hopefully Zoom's API works better with Whova in the future and some of those issues can be resolved. But those were some of the issues we experienced, and I told you about some workarounds with that. So those are my high-level recaps of the actual Whova app, what it looks like, how it works, and overall I can just tell you that people really liked that experience. They liked that it gave them a different feel from Zoom just by itself. And it just elevates your event and makes it feel a little more big time, as opposed to just something you threw together on Zoom, to be quite honest with you. So if you are throwing a virtual event, I highly recommend, if you can budget this in, to use an app like Whova. I think it's awesome. I think it can really work. If you're interested in checking out the Whova app, I have a link below for you to try out, and you can check out a free demo and all that good stuff for your own self and see if this would work for your next virtual event. All right, babies, thanks so much for joining me. Please leave your questions and comments below. Also, please be sure to subscribe to this channel if you've not done that before, or subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you happen to be listening to it to. And if you're here on YouTube, also be sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell that clicks on after that. You make sure you just click that little bell. And that's important, because if you don't do that, you will not see these videos again. I promise you, you just won't. Okay? And also, finally, please be sure to follow us, the ADS Agency. That's THEADS Agency, like ads, like advertising. It's a lovely double entendre from my name, Andrea D. Smith. It happens to spell ads. Love it. My parents didn't plan that. It's just awesome. All right, and I will see you here next time. Thank you so much, and cheers. Mwah.